the need for a pragmatic political leadership. We know as a fact that to get this done, to navigate a course for
Sir,
your
just
people,
list them so that we can take them. Thank you, sir.
Have in mind that pragmatic leadership is required, particularly the political angle that we need to leverage on. Then the next one is when we were in the House of Assembly, this is a practical example I feel we should share. In the old Bende, the Oyo-Ekòró used to be the permanent vice chairman of the traditional rulers and chiefs council. When Hebrew was to effect, of course, to domesticate it in Delta, a bill was sent to the House. And in that bill, we saw the worst form of oppression. A person who was a permanent vice chairman to a king who is no longer in the new state. It was not just a permanent vice chairman from the fluke. He was permanent vice chairman because the age of his throne was next to the throne of the Oba of Benin. That was what it was then. So now, whimsically, a bill came to say that the chairmanship should be rotated. Myself and my colleagues who were in the House then, I think Orubo is here, and we have Oyo-Ekòró too. I think there was a commotion in the House. Some of the people sent by Atuwatse II, who was also well monitoring it, and we have a leadership then who were consulting with, that was giving directive, giving us all we need to defend the cause of the Itsekiri people. For 3 months, we could not allow the bill to be passed until, I need not go into, some of them are here. We knew what happened. At a point, we said, okay, let's allow it go. We will follow the judicial process. So that is one aspect that we need to look at. We need to use those who are in the House there now to see how we can, through political...
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you. We'll need to cut it there. Thank you.
So,
thank you.
Thank you very much for the audience. And,
I will want to just pick out some of the highlights. One, there is the nostalgia, where we were before and where we are now. And as Itsekiris, we should remember, we didn't just come to this land when the royalty came. We have the aborigines and we have the royalty. So let's not let people couch us to say our stay is just when the royalty came. Also, we should know that in the crisis time, we had organizational prowess. Where is that now? Why can we not speak as one? I'm sure all those in the political realm, they will need to have a rethink. We must be able to think as one to take a position for Itsekiri. On that note, I'll go now to call on Professor Mrs. Noyo Edema to look at the land use and agriculture in Iwere land. Take it.
Ogiame. So, the topic before me this afternoon is sustaining the land and supporting the community through agriculture, which is timely. Land is the part of the earth's surface that is not covered by a body of water. Land is not only a physical resource, but it is cultural, economic, and spiritual. That is our identity. And God called the dry land earth, Genesis chapter 1, verse 10. Agriculture is the science of cultivating soil, producing crops, and raising livestock in varying degrees, in addition to the preparation and marketing of agricultural products. From creation, humans have been tasked with cultivating the land. Genesis chapter 2, verse 15. Farming is a task that God has given to humans. Importance of agriculture. Agriculture gives people access to fresh, nutritious foods, raw material for industry, like the agro-processing companies. you have jobs, support culture, build resilience. When communities grow their own food, they are less vulnerable to economic shock or food shortage. Importance of land in agriculture. Land is the foundational resource for agriculture. No land, no agriculture. It provides the space and natural components needed for growing and harvesting crops. While agriculture shapes how land is used and managed, the quality, the quantity, availability, and management of the land directly influence security, economic stability, and environmental sustainability. Sustainable land management is essential to human-long agricultural productivity. The place of land, the place of agriculture in land and community sustainability. Agriculture plays a central role in how both land and community survive, grow, and sustain themselves when done respectively. Agriculture helps when done sustainably. Agriculture and land boundaries. Active land use deter encroachment when land is regularly used for farming. There is a saying that occupied land is a respected land. If you don't occupy your land, that means it will be encroached upon. Agroeconomy can be used as a natural boundary by planting trees along the boundaries to keep the community. Corporate agreements with neighbors is another way we can take care of our land. Land mapping. Land mapping, it involves creating visual representation that shows the distribution of the different land uses when communities are involved in agricultural development. They are likely to map and document their land use, secure land rights and titles, making it harder for neighbors to dispute boundaries. Community farming builds unity. It also unites members to defend their land. Reduce internal disputes about ownership. Present a unified voice in negotiation of boundary disputes with neighbors. Agriculture and mangrove sustainability. We find out that the mangrove vegetation has been tampered with, and most part of the land, or some of the communities have been affected, like the Ogiame and Itsekiris. Those parts they have been affected, and it's affecting the environment. And this is as a result of coastal erosion and leading to habitat loss, rise in sea level as a result of climate change, and other anthropogenic activities. So we should be careful with the way we use the land. The land is fragile. The mangrove vegetation is very fragile. If you tamper with it, remove the vegetation, before you know it, the erosion will come, coastal erosion will come and remove the sand. Because we have 3 zones in the mangrove vegetation. We have the mangrove, sand mangrove, we have the mud mangrove, and the landward mangrove. These other first 2, they are very fragile, and they are very close to the water edge. So when you remove the vegetation, there is the mangrove, red mangrove, and the white mangrove. The species, they have a type of roots well equipped to withstand those tides, the high tide. By the time you remove those plants, at the end of the day, there is nothing to protect the sand, that environment. So the water coming from the sea will just wash away the sand. And wash away the sand, everything will go away. And they have this type of root. The root of the mangrove produce abundant stalk-like and aching-sealed roots that enable the plant to withstand the flooding by keeping the branches of the plant above the sea level. So when you remove the plant, that means you entirely remove that vegetation and removing the land. So but if you want to do any form of activity, first of all, you have to be careful. If you need an EIA to look at the land and see the nature of the land. You don't just come and just remove the vegetation. The people doing lumbering, we learn that we have people, even the white people, Chinese and other people, they are in our community. We don't know. They go there, they just cut the trees. And even Calabar people, all of them, they are in our communities removing our trees. If you want to remove trees, you just cut and leave the stump so that the plant can still grow. If you remove everything, that means you are saying that we don't have land anymore. Erosion will come, coastal erosion and everything will think. So it's those the roots that stabilize the environment. A lot of Ogiame and excavers, I don't know the distance from the land to where the present land to where the former land was. Somebody was telling me I have not been there. Somebody said it's from between Abraka. The person is from Abraka. I say from between Abraka to Oyo-Ekòró that has gone into the sea. And I also learned that FIFA has also removed a part of the vegetation. Now we don't know how close it is to the sea. That one can cause if the land is bare, rain, water, high tide, and all those things can remove the vegetation. So we have to be careful. Key issues in land and agriculture, land tenure and ownership. Land tenure defines how individuals or group can assess, use, and control and transfer land. While ownership is the right to possess, use, and dispose of land. A situation where farmers cannot secure rights to land tenure, insecurity can discourage sustainable practices that limits access to investment. There should be equity to ensure their access to land for smallholders, women, and marginalized community members. Land reforms, transparent leasing, and cooperative land use should be encouraged. Population growth, We have global trends. In global trend, you have population growth. As population grows, demand for food and arable land, market integration, arable land, there is demand for food and arable land. Market integration can link producer more effectively with buyers across local, regional, and international demand to reduce waste. We have technology, we have the AI, we have applications, a lot of application for the agricultural activities. We have the global market too. Sustainable agricultural practices. How we can engage our land. Go into agriculture, we have the different types. We have the agroforestry down to urban agriculture. Agroforestry, we have some examples of crops that we can use. We have the fruit crops, nut crops, beverages, oil crops, and others. Adaptations of crops to tropical conditions. They are of the tropical conditions. They are climatic conditions and the same as climatic condition in the tropical regions. Cultivation of oil palm. Cultivation of oil palms, where it involves seedling preparation, land preparation, planting, maintenance, harvesting, etc. And it stays for about 2 to 3 years to fruit, then 30 to 50 years, depending on the variety. It has a lot of byproducts. The pricing of palm fruit is closely tied to global market price of oil palm, as the fruit primary value is in its oil variety. recent data shows that the global price of palm oil is generally in the range of $900 to $1,000 per metric tons, while the local price is between 2,000 to 2,005 per meal of palm oil. That means investing in palm produce, preparing the palm produce is a lucrative business. A bunch of the oil palm is 3,000 naira. Cultivation of pricing, we have it as in the tropical conditions. As in the tropical conditions, but it needs a high ground level. So it can grow very well in the tropical regions, and we are in the tropical regions. We should invest. Then pricing. The pricing, coconut in the world market is in 2024 is about $480,000 per ton. While the local market, we have 1,000 to 2,000 naira per ton. So if you have like the coconut, if you have like 80 to 120, if you have 80 to 120 per tree, times 10 trees, you know what the fruits you can get from that coconut. So that's why we are being encouraged to invest in tree crops. We are being encouraged to invest in tree crops. And we have other ones. We have other types that we can use. We also have the agribusiness aspect that is part of the farming process. Then you have the sources where you can get aids or assistance. Then finally we have, in conclusion, agriculture when sustainably practiced, strengthens land tenure, supports biodiversity, enhances food security and unified communities. Investing in agribusiness, adopting climate change smart practices, and ensuring equitable land access are essential for the future of our communities. Thank you.
Thank you. If I just give a brief summary, what Prof has told us. And yes, if you don't occupy your land, you will lose your land. And so what we are saying is that as Itsekiris, we must do what? Occupy our land. If we cannot occupy it by number, we can occupy it by agriculture. Let's go and use our land. We can have tree crops. She's told us about the what you gain in palm trees, what you gain in coconut. Our land is good for rice. If our people used to plant Iwere is like a species of rice. So thank God we have very good person. Let's go back and invest in our land. Let us use land. If you have the whole distance between Omadino and Dubo as rice farm, people won't take it over because they won't want to pay the compensations of destroying your crops. Let's not stay here. If you have the funds, don't keep the funds in Abuja. Don't keep the funds in Lagos. Don't keep the funds in Europe. Let's come back and invest in agriculture so that we can use our land as we try to. When you talk about population, I don't know where to go. They said the men should have 10 wives so that we can populate the land. But if we cannot increase our number, we can effectively use our land. Lastly, we are going to call on Professor Lucky Akarese to talk to us about Renaissance as far as the Itsekiri language is concerned. Professor Lucky.
Ogiame, Sue. Well, so. Ola Patrick ba fogbo make agbo Igbo. Torí Òyìnbó taka fo ora gushe ki tutu onbi Christianity. Patrick ba fogbo Christianity nira Ogiame bodoja o da tu yide waren. Pelewo. De gionkan odonbo. Ti Ogiame gba woye gege. Ma want moto drone bowe. O ba woye gege. Eke abwara ayaneyiwe ika seyi. Odonbo. Ọ̀pọ̀ mọ̀lẹ̀ tó wá jà ń dìde gbà lẹ̀ fún gbà bú mọ̀lẹ̀ ọ̀kẹ́ ìfàwùtàn wò máa rí program tá a fẹ́ ṣe bọ̀rọ̀jà àwẹ́ tíṣẹ́ kí sí ìràwẹ́ ara sọ́gbó di Buckingham Palace ẹ̀ tí iná kú níyàn rẹ̀ wò máa rí program rẹ̀ ó má ṣe àjàmí ẹ̀ bá ń yàtọ̀ ìbò rẹ̀ àwọn wá gbìṣẹ́ kí ìyá Dosi cheki ta fo onogba mure ya no. O cheki ta fo onogba mure ya no. O ma bi linguist an fo an wa gbe aja gidi je onogba no. E na aja to wi Nigeria te onogba pe kungi aja onogba no. Gasi ka fo aja. De kede ti cheki won buju. O ma trikoko wo re boda ke George we da ke memo ti emiara. O ma ira jamie oru isoko nuwe wa guchangba fusoko o ma ri robonuwe we ijo an waka fu aja cheki to we de 999 oyibo de ne ka fu we de that is Delta State University lecturers to we akoneko to we and shisho or room sign 900 cheki to we I to erudogun ojibo tene ska fo an we bo kene fo re o mo fe fo ni cheki again an mini igbo mini olaja àwọn ni ajade òun mo laja mu je ni ke chaja kaka fo we no wi chekiri ewe meji aja tan gba fo we mo ne fu ibo aja mo fu Hausa aja mo fu Chekiri aja wori weken aja agi olaja onwe na aja de fenfene o ta se boroja we ni ke aja takafo ene no gba fo boja uchaja uwe wo ke ka gbaja we egbeta gba se boroja we and to plan lo ologbo chere obaloye on bi MC we meru bodan kegi bodi pike da wa jasa bodi pike jasa sheki gije do lefunu we ofo gije do lefunu we re wo ke agbo ajipepe bi fun wo ke agbo wo tire ojelaja ba seju yankun Uweke woke agbo ashale shomi telebu okiti kaka gbo oyerere otu malokun olare ekimogun igba gologolo togbukuleju togburanleju atori di akana pu Yoruba wa sona ajande de wa kalefu Bodojawe, I pay me professor. To Sheki a Naja, tackling professor. Sheki no go, Ajay no bare. You bade roke. And what pay me or jogmo. And dan Rachishene. Who called Janke Kalefun, O Miniboe, Ifere. Nikachi Ajife, or Kaliogu. Then can't bring big bar. Osa. Ite, ete, etura, ọ̀kànràn, ọ̀bàràn, àtúrúpà, ẹ̀ka, òfun, òṣè, àgárí, urosùn, òwòrí, ìdín, ògbìn, akagbọ̀kàn pìọ̀kàn. Wọ́n máa pè 16 times 16 times 16. Wọ́n wá ní 4 over 4,000. Nikechi, the Kajakachi, then go come Abakagi, Wegba. 1848, Sheki Kanek Bume. Odome Jolonre, Sheki Nolaja. 1936, Anka Molaja Muje. Bukante Mabate Molaja Muje, of foreign, of for bife on alo, of for. Taka for Kwan, on bife on alo. Borojawe, Sheki, of one the dairy wrong. Me my band if I show. The Makai Sheki Mukari, table more when Yaju. Akawu Bueni worry. Tomo Buju in Okano Kis Mukamo Ru. Atuwatse Okeji, me Ogagu Sheki to one. And to our out the Regu Sheki way. Because she sing in our Tawago. Ojo and Amaba, Bano, we meet in Barbara. Sheki and Comfort Abo Yibo. Mobaka Bobo Bobaka Lo Yibo Kwanu. Kinshasa for Yibo Twan. Then, mo fẹ́ lọ for méjì. Monarchy. Monarch, but àrùn mẹ́tò ẹ̀. Monarchy. Dọ́ṣegi presidency. Presidency we, Ọlá Tinubu, ministers ro, Ṣàbọ̀bọ̀, Ayaro, Rati, Ṣàgàrí gbàṣì president rẹ̀, Ayaro, we presidency to Ama. Bura Arioshogwa, Ayaokan, we presidency to Tagalagala. Well, any monarchy can. Monarch we know, Oyo-Ekòró. So, to Chegiti Cheki de Fefene, and to Wogwa, Okashi, and to we monarchy. And to we monarchy in the count of what she sing. Amasi Ubwewe, Amagaji, we know, Oyaleda Fish, Oyiboda and Bo, but that Bo. Unikuni mawa magi Sheki no ba sheru kakan ye to mi Sheki gi bote da abate da rush obi de fen fen Ogiame no rekete to shibo de fen fen de kasika for odo yibo ba for we kan bu kakan bu jo to wi yan we ba for ke to re kan wa jai no gba ku arun o no gba ku arun e terror te wo ma go ran wori e boroja we se o ma bate ki oni e mo ka we bank ni koko no lie ono bi on kan ka no gba for ọ̀tún kan bá jọ̀kan bá kíyẹ́ tó wá nú ẹ̀ nígbà gá wẹ́ka wẹ́gù Ṣẹ̀kí àwọn gíláyà àwọn máa gù Ṣẹ̀kí àwọn tọ́tọ́n tó máa fù Ṣẹ̀kí ẹ̀nà tó wá ṣe Ṣẹ̀kí ìdẹ̀ tó gí ẹ̀ nẹ́ṣì Christianity afọ́fọ́ obìnrin méjì tá gbà gbé ẹ̀kẹ́ Ṣẹ̀kí ilẹ̀ mẹ́tẹ̀ẹ̀rún tó wà wá rí ẹ̀pípò mẹ́ ti Ṣẹ̀kí ìnẹ́ torí ọgbà fọ̀ gbági alẹ̀tẹ̀ni alẹ̀ ti Ṣẹ̀kí ìnẹ́ lájú gbé rẹ̀yẹ́ ti Ṣẹ̀kí mi à ń tó ṣe Ṣẹ̀kí alẹ̀ wọ́n máa pí kòkó kẹ́kẹ́ wà tú rẹ̀ jù wérí Ṣẹ̀kí inú ẹ̀ àwọn tó ń tẹ́wọ́ sí ìjọ́nà kàwórí Ṣẹ̀kí àgbẹ̀gí owó tàbákà mọ́ ọmọ owó tí kí yẹ́mí ẹ̀gbà mọ́ ọmọ tó tẹ́mi bòdmọ́ rẹ̀ yá jù tó pé wínà gí àwọn ta pàánà lẹ̀ a má dẹ̀ gé bí ẹ bọ̀bọ̀ jí ogun náà yóò kàṣe bí Ṣẹ̀kí àmàrin tí a tó wí kó ọ̀dọ̀ Bawanale, we monarchy o, Okabo Bionkan. Let me use English. Then you will put it away. The idea they can go. Dave Sheki. Oyo-Ekòró. And Oyo-Ekòró we poor me. Olami me sanke me sanu we o. Dekede ratmowa oyemi oboren. Dekede an to da pe si omo chirele. Omo losoran ke te wa bo seyin. Daniel Reneju, èyí mo ká ṣọ̀fẹ̀ ẹ̀jẹ̀lé ìwé ṣẹ̀rẹ́ mo fi ọ̀fọ̀ ọ̀jù ní Ṣẹ̀kí ìwé. Àìsòló tẹwọ́ bọ̀ ṣẹ́yìn, àwínà ẹ̀rú bà ń ràyà ń bà ń. Ráwọ̀ ọmọ olúbídédé. Okay, 5 minutes more, Mark. Ṣìṣì ẹ̀rú jù well. That form for Gbara, Boki Ṣẹ̀kí tí a yé sí. Barometo, ó wá pàṣẹ níwọ̀n. Barometo, ó wá pàṣẹ níwọ̀n wé o. Gi o ma je gi o ma fe gboye tu enu obi meji we gboye. Go ano back. No, ano bagi Itsekiri ye. And to she politics and really Adams and Solo and Ma by Reniju gi Itsekiri ye. Teri tabaka vote ma to we. E da nege mo ten yo. Press wo ma kan wo mu renwe o. Bo ki Itsekiri te aye sin ewe okan gba biran e se atugba rere ju we. So ewe to wi no egbe amolubi tan pe si ojoye kekewe akami ragban kaka atwo don to wawe doctor and doctor maru mefa then mo fẹ́ bẹ̀ Christianity religion doka gobo. No, I go to Itsekiri. I go to Itsekiri. Iwere the second. Mo chief vice principal in Iwere College, Mokawa Bakari. Itsekiri African Church. Atuwatse Kejigbawa. Okada the four square. Rati Ogiame Kewole Gbada winner. Okada the church in the Church of God Mission. Monarchy doka de conservative on kantu bininere olaja duesi o ma cholaja ko church of kanolati re Olui Arosa church o wa papa vanuwe tori ungawe ubinike on wa fo nuwe tori church to re ni ide de fefene oyibo wa fo oyibo da ka fo we there doka gigbegi ajatu town retwo ka for kwarun anigba primary school o ma fu Itsekiri agbegi vernacular that puwegbe inyanti Christianity do gbe waren make church enter by religion wo bori we no kan religion is just for you ma kwa jadede gbagidi edede go agbachi praise worship and ka pe aga na chi bikimo praise worship kan bikimo na mi se random bikimo na chi praise worship bikimo wa praise worship wa gbu Itsekiri ni no igbasalama chi praise worship wa gbu Itsekiri ni no but oyibo de chi praise worship Christianity ori Itsekiri wa gbo ino to ma chi amada gbu Itsekiri guse da calculate to ne gbu Itsekiri guse nbo keke were so mo fe gire da egi ajawe aja ono gbare Itsekiri nokan de kede Itsekiri de onwe fa buruju ano keji echire ka fo aja tire ewi no aja ta fo te awa bawagi Jesus e wa je kede ki Jesus ba aja to for there I mean that's the situation I mean you ta rire so mo fe je gigba aja ta fo onpo ren tuwe fo ajawe wa re bo ki an dede
ene dope bi prof ogigbe regi odon to wa ene ma no wa program ta wa se ama ye wolokan ni Itsekiri akaye wolokan noyibo dena dede gba ka ko to gida no bien to yewe loro wa start ro ete gbo through. At this point, we want to take just 2 questions. Just 2. And then mark backward, then I will round up. MC, where is Barrister? Please just help us. Just 2 questions from the crowd. And while we are doing that, and then then offer teneka for we jene for na fere shisha. And then ma wano don't to wa then can emigi ajayiwe ano shoko nire. Ajayiwe ano shokonire demi kin gba work out mo gba no lanebo yimi unto jujo gba agbale ene o mere mi okaka agboko to sujo o gba wa Eya na mire esika sinwa alejuwe. Uje? Kuwa nawe anawe ka momi ewa nawe ka momi ewa. I'm talking about sustainable lease. Iraq mi ma wa gba lene. Then ma gi to agbo ton e we agbo me ne we ashe. Atan shi shekiri that ka shi we mu gbanga. That ka sign iro o ma shi kopo kiti wa won san that ka mi receipt gbanga. Fole gata agba ji sheki tanwe that ka mi receipt gbanga. I te bu odun onwe o but ejuma mari epo nuwe awa bu odun. Can we take the questions now?
So, my favor, please, the question, indicate your name, your community, or your group. A male and a female. Rex, for you.
Hello. Yes, I have a question. I'm a bit baffled. Onaifo te fa biro. Unwe mukaro ka pame bubu. Ekpipo ne. Iye tene iye. O se pipo ne. O olori tene ne. To abioko we basoro.
Neso don denagbo kaniya.
Ogiame. Okala mi onshi laju awala. Bibiro temi fa biro. Okashi ni bara ofo bireko teneka mushi. Momagi Odon to bore and a badge nube bar for Fambo Kenfo by the makeup by the mushi ni bar tagida shida jagbare nogwa. Allow me moma kenfo gi of on a catafo e kagbia jarogwa. Chishe kenfo okashi patakrini no dede. Okale mi bafa biro. Then I back by jog by one of one bob but that form for Boba for Barene. And then ni ye bobot and echo jaw to we not she untanemic come up with feasibility studies. But anime she one bubble. Some practical miss on be the roadmap tagba anime achieve one bubble that we offer for Chichi, for example. Ni area population. And then I guess people me checking account. People me Nigeria We ma go fafi data boja inu ngidi je ni Nigeria. Wa fe keke gba atwale omi we pere. Ene data conscious. So an enemy need desk, for example, toward they in charge of data collation. Ni ba Itsekiris dagba mama oluwene moshe. Ni sapele ni kene oluwene moshe. Ni data center oluwene moshe. In the next 10 years, what is the practical step we are putting in place, for example, to boost the population of Oyo-Ekòró? How do we intend to get to that destination? For agriculture. And then another 20 years. What is the agricultural state and Oyo-Ekòró? How do we intend to get there? How do we intend to start? At a name Musoko of one day, or I shall for that for no refi. Ogiame.
Hello, but a question will be we just want to move on. I get a big question. For it, say another way.
Ogiame, so Itsekiris de Demokia. Emeshi Ituwatse IRG Itsekiri Renaissance Group Moga. Ọ̀fọ̀ wọn Itsekiri we ka ṣọ̀fọ̀ tó jẹ́ kí ó yẹlé tó ṣe pàtàkì tẹ́ndẹ́nẹ́ take it serious. Tẹ̀rí kíkí wo máa ṣún wọ̀ríwé tó ṣàjì Itsekiri gbà wí odò dédé Itsekiri dédé odi Itsekiri ògbódò bí nǹkan dédé. Wo máa rí rẹ́ dédé tó wẹ̀rẹ̀. Pidgin wọn ká fọ̀. Àwọn mata bí tó jẹ́ kí ó yẹlé dáa Mushia Itsekiri dédé àì márùnkún ní Itsekiri wé. So lámi mo fẹ́ fọ̀ ní Kílégwe. Ohun tó yẹlé dẹ̀ náà ṣe kí ọmẹ́rin àmà wọ́ọ̀lì dé. Ó yẹlé dí leadership Itsekiri that start school bọ̀bọ̀ takilika kwájú òun àti Itsekiri wé. Tẹ̀rí gígí àwọn tó tú ọ̀là rẹ̀ wé. Ewa bí sì gbangba kó òun àti Itsekiri wé ju wẹ̀rẹ̀. But àwọn mátorí náà wà lẹ́yìn wé. Rata àgòṣe rata àmù òun àti Itsekiri gbà máa fi fọ̀ àjàwé wa náà. Ló ṣe máa jẹ dájì Itsekiri òun àti Itsekiri dò náà lágbára Jesus. So mo fẹ́ gí nú boku bo dédé ti ọmọ Itsekiri máa ga. Ẹ̀nẹ̀nẹ́ gí village Itsekiri náà dédé nírọ̀lì dé. Then any volunteers to get Angelo Moa Itsekiri. And worry Rio Itsekiri I did to Bangadi Baja to much worry kitty. I want the centers. Takilika Kunkui Oma be recreate to my fair Moa with Takilika Kwan.
That's the last place.
Inomeji Majara Okakui Oma Itsekiri ne Kurede.
Sorry, please. Thank you. Let's quickly round up the speakers, just 2 minutes.
Ogiame, Shogwa Gege Ologwa, Owenshi, Yedoka Musoko Bukubodide. Irati Owenaba will not abash election. Ene ye, but an akagbogwa. Don't knock bed that abashi. Do mama da geju fun oren. Teri untenekashi near, yet an akashi sin the day, monfe majuene. But ologwa, on which you shogwa. Then of for the denegba ye niwe, Esho for Burukum, Untena Munushi Bashiren. Particularly in Taraopeni. We need to contribute something to the population of our place. So, Okay.
Ogiame. So, tell me for Negajiti Ageneli on to Bite erosion in Wagby Agene. Mofa begging, yet a war my train. That me Kokoje, Newborn and the to form a park. Coconut Park and some of all those places. The tourism and all those things can come and help our communities.
Yeah. Usha Tinfe on Mage Shakigi Ojoye and Yolaja concept of Kanumba Shaki Queen's Consort. Wakari ni àwọn jẹ́ wáṣíkà dáàrò wọ́n máa àgẹ̀ Wikipedia lóòrùn tí Queen's Consort jẹ́ ó jóyè oúnṣẹ́ kí máa gí ó ṣayọ̀ lájà omi ẹ̀ ní wínà bọ̀ mo fẹ́ dáàrò mẹ́bàá akẹ́ ò dẹ́kẹ̀dẹ̀ òṣèwé ọjọ́ lọ wẹ́wà àndìdì fẹ́nẹ́fẹ́nẹ́ bí ṣẹ̀kí ìtawà fọ̀ mo dọ́pẹ́ gbà.
Ogiame. Enewa Dokwegbere for giving us this opportunity. Omiwede Ojoyi Baba Mowale. Thank you. Ubajo Itsekiri Leaders Foundation. They have initiated this and we've taken it as a yearly thing to do. Omaka bofoka over and over, our help to change. At when bo our shigin wish problem. We are sitting down, we are trying to get some feasibility studies on this agriculture. When we do, we will put it in the public domain. We may not have the resources, but at least we'll be able to get persons who have the practical knowledge, because the negative practicality, and if we're able to, so that we can own our land and we can own our language. Sheki Modokbe, Ogiame.
The organizers, we thank you. Anshe. So, gentlemen of the press, we appreciate you also. Amuluni. Our youth activity, Ewagbera, Amatere, Dashkale, Ujowa Wino, Umi Oje, Wawino. 3:30, and Ewako Onushani youth activity, 3:30. So, please, we should remain seated. Remain seated. Ogiame. Afoshe.
Right, see.
baboge.
Alóore baboge.
Alóore baboge.
Alóore baboge.
Alóore baboge.
Alóore baboge.
Alóore
Alóore baboge.
baboge.
Alóore